me photographs. Everything was sorted, and it was absolutely brilliant. One of the things we were talking about, I was talking about to Dennis, was Dennis is Michael's father, obviously, and one of the things I was asking about was these drawings that Willie Harrington had done. Willie Harrington, the great Cork artist, had come up in conversation, and Willie was a friend of Dennis's, and he was a Blarney Street man, of course, or lived in Blarney Street at the time, and drank at the High House up the road. And I said, look, it's an awful pity. Some of the Murphys told me that Willie had redesigned all the Murphys' High Houses back in the 60s when he was a young art student. And I was saying, one of the people here at Murphys told me, look, it's a pity Willie sold them all over the years. And I said, God, they'd be brilliant, they'd be outstanding to have, because Willie is such a brilliant artist, and because of the connection and the tie and so on. And so I said, that's a pity. And I was saying this to Dennis, and Dennis said, look, I'll have a word with him, you never know, you never know with Willie. So I headed off full of whiskey and Cork history and everything on my bike, heading down Sunday as well. Happy as Larry, and who's walking up the hill? I'm not making this up, Willie Harrington, right? Who I didn't know, but there he was with 2 bags in Tesco's coming up the hill. So I slammed on the brakes, and they said, Willie? He said, yeah. Who are you? I said, look, I'm a friend of Donal Lenihan's, right? And he said, oh really, yeah? And I said, yeah. So we got into the conversation and the whole thing, and I said, look, it's an awful pity, those drawings, as we're doing this book of Murphy's, that they're gone, and so on. And he said, are they gone? And I said, well, they told me they were gone. He said, are you sure they're gone? I said, I don't know. He said, well, meet me in the High House tomorrow night, right? And we'll see if they're gone. So anyway, many drinks later in the High House, as you can imagine, Willie pulls out a whole selection of these brilliant coloured drawings that he had done of all the Murphy's houses in Cork, and it was absolutely brilliant. We included the one in the High House in honour of Willie and of Dennis in the book itself, and it really worked out. And we also used that great picture that I saw in the Vicarstown of Dennis and Tucker Lyons, is it? Yeah, crossing, it's 1942, 43, crossing Patrick's Bridge in Adray, and it's here reproducing this brilliant book as well. And the last time I saw Dennis Senior actually was exactly in here at the launch of that Murphy story, and needless to say, I think he's here in spirit, and I think he'd be delighted with this absolutely fabulous book. Every page in this book is just a joy. I think it's like every image is like a little window into Cork's past, and I think the whole volume as a whole is a sort of a tapestry or a portrait of a city across 300 years. And it's not just the reproductions of Michael's brilliant images and his amazing collection. I think it's his captions, his brief contextualizations, which are really sort of perfectly encapsulate the story around each picture, and that's what really makes it special, and I think really effective. And it's the hustle and bustle of ordinary life that I think is most brilliantly captured here. Ordinary lives of the rich and the poor are glimpsed with countenances rosy with health and beaming with intelligence, as Cody said in 1859. The kind of daily routines of industry, of commerce, of trade are captured, and all carrying on against the sort of hidden backdrop, or the invisible backdrop of what's more familiar to us in these kind of historical narratives, the politics, the wars, the battles, the revolutions and all that sort of stuff, even though they do come through, obviously, especially those brilliant pictures of the aftermath of the burning of Cork, which really, I think, bring home the devastation that was wrought in this city. And it's full of little gems as well. I won't go on too much about it, I'll just mention a couple. I mean, there's that printer's invoice that I used the other night talking about Tide, that was sent to the Cork volunteers from printers down on Rutland Street. Sent 11 and 9 it was for various leaflets and ledger books and so on to the Cork volunteers for printing jobs. But they sent it on Good Friday 1916, which is probably, they had other things on their mind, let's put it that way, right? And I'd like to know if they ever got money for that, actually. I was checking that the other night. Somehow doubt it. There's also the amazing office receipt from the shipping company in Cove in Queenstown, dated 9th of April 1912. And the little detail in the corner, next ship calling, handwritten Titanic. And of course it did call on the 11th 2 days later and sank 4 days after that. So these little gems really are peppered throughout the book, I think. And there's also that one of the first Cork boy racer, it says it. Your man in the car about 100 years ago on Patrick Street, flying around the corner in a blur. And there's a Harvey, with horse-drawn Harvey, sort of looking nonchalantly at him as he passes by. And basically, the last couple, I mean, who knew before now, I just noted down here that a cold back in the Metropole Hotel cost a shilling in 1905. a cold bath is shilling. Can that be possible? And a hot one costs the same? I don't know. But anyway, we couldn't get drink there until 1956, so I suppose it kind of makes sense. I was amazed to see there was a Swedish massage parlour above the Metropole Laundry on Winthrop Street in the 1950s. And that the Cork and Muskerry Light Railway charged 4 pence a mile, 4 old pence a mile to transport a child's corpse in 1912, with a minimum charge of 3 shillings is sort of eerie, isn't it? And the fact that they charged more for an adult, it's astonishing me. There's also that 2-headed girl who lived up in Blair's Hill in 1880. If you check page 155, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, look, I don't need to tell you any more about this brilliant book. You can see for yourselves. And it's a pure joy and a real honour for me to now officially declare PureCork officially and truly launched. Thank you.
Before we start, I must present Donal with a book.
Yeah.
He wrote it many years ago. The Murphy story.
Okay.
He was looking for the first edition, he couldn't get it, but I've been a collector, managed to get one.
Wow.
From PureCork